and welcome to Nights with TVT, our new podcast for the Tennessee Valley Theater in Spring City, Tennessee. uh,
You know, you can like edit clips together on this thing.
you know what I said.
So, it's Nights with TVT, new podcast. For,
Tennessee Valley Theater
yes,
in Spring City, Tennessee.
indeed.
184
Right.
West Jackson Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
We're making this podcast to spread the word about our theater, to keep people up to date with what we're doing, and to let people get to know behind the scenes, people on the board, just what goes into a community theater. Yep.
This is TVT is a nonprofit organization, so we do take donations, heads up. To keep our doors open and everything, donations, we're all volunteer, keep things running. The board is all volunteer. Anybody that does plays, directs, does sets, it's all volunteer work. Also, we want you to know that this is an unscripted podcast and YouTube channel. So,
We just don't want you to expect anything.
I mean, expect good things, but don't always expect it to be on point all the time. Okay.
I know that's surprising as we're a theater and we have no script.
This is
So,
this is a lesson in improv, guys.
yeah.
Okay, seriously, this chair makes it sound like I'm farting. Every time I move.
We're not going to cut that out. We hope to have a podcast out and a video out every Friday, starting July 30th. Hopefully it's out on July 30th of this
We got
of
almost
this
a week and a
year.
half.
Um,
Yeah, do you want to
okay,
introduce
I'm
yourself?
Vanessa Van Horn. I've been with the theater since 2001. Is that right? When we did Joseph? 2000. I do plays. I direct.
You direct.
Direct. I'm over lights and sounds on the board. Yep.
I'm Brittany. I am not on the board at TVT, but I do take care of all social media, Facebook, Instagram, emails, that sort of thing. And I have been involved in this theater, I don't know when, but I did grow up around this theater. It's my dad, and he's done theater here for as long as I can remember, before that. So, don't make fun of that, it's funny. So yeah, we're really excited to have this started, and tonight we have with us Tony, who is the president of TVT's board. And he's going to talk a little bit about the history of the theater, how it got started, and then during his term of presidency, what his vision is for the theater and where he'd like to see it go and how it's going to grow. Hopefully so. Take it away.
Okay. Again, my name's Tony McHouston. I am the president of the board of directors. There is a 10-member board that is elected by members of the theater, and it's all volunteer. The board members they rotate off every 3 to 6 years. They can hold an office as a board member up to 6 years, and then they have to take a year off before they can be elected back on. But this is my first term as president. The theater started, was actually chartered back in the 70s, and I don't remember the exact date at that time. And at that time it did not have a definite home. They were able to use the auditorium in Dayton City School in Dayton, which is part of Ray County, the south end of the county, and did several plays there, which after I don't know how many years or so that it dissolved, and kind of just sat there for a time period. And then back in 1989, a couple of women from the women's club here in Spring City got together and wanted to recharter. And so it was rechartered in the 89 and still did not have a home. And so at that time, I had been a part as well. I don't remember the years. I was also vice president of the board of directors during that period when we did not have a building at some point in time. And but we traveled around and did theater at different restaurants, some in Harriman, some in Rockwood, some in we did some in Ray County, Grandview on the mountain. We did it at the old school up there. So we did get theater shown in the community, but it it was in different places. But we had pretty good success in doing so. And then in 1996, it did by a donation of Bill Hillary, an old grocery store, and that is our home today. So this year marks the 25th anniversary of us actually being in this building that we're sitting in tonight. So anyway, that's kind of a brief history of how it got started. And like the young lady said, this is my daughter, Brittany, by the way. I think she mentioned that. This is my adopted daughter through the theater because we are a family. So with doing the plays, we've done several. I've been involved with the theater over 40 years in the community and other parts of the area, surrounding areas as well. So I have done acting, directing, work behind the scenes, lights, sound, whatever, but done a little bit of different aspect. But again, we are a volunteer organization. So like Brittany said, keep that in mind because we will take volunteers to help us out anyway. So
Yeah, we're always looking for volunteers. So how long is your term as president?
my term as president is I can do 2 3-year terms.
2 3-year terms, so 6 years overall.
If you're voting in, correct?
Yes. So you're voted in now for 3 years. This is your first year, right? So that's very nice. And what would be your vision for the theater for the next 3 years? What would you like to see happen over the next 3 years during your term?
Well, one thing that our viewers need to understand too is being a volunteer organization. This past year was a very difficult year because of the COVID pandemic on not only individuals but communities,
Nonprofits.
stores, everything, especially nonprofits. We get all of our money, normally we do get some grants from different businesses and the Arts Commission, but to be able to keep our doors open, pay the electric bills, those kind of things, it was a difficult year last year. So we had to cancel shows, we had to cancel events, and so last year was a definite struggle trying to be able to make sure that we kept our doors open. And fortunately, we were able to start out even canceling. Not fortunately, we canceled shows at the beginning of this year, but we were able to start off with a show early in the year that helped us be able to fund what we needed to do with our regular bills. So as we went along, and we've done 2 other shows, working on the 3rd one this year, that has been a good profit for us. We've had an event with a guy that impersonated Conway Twitty that turned out pretty nice for us as well. And we also have an event coming up with Matt Cordell, a well-known Elvis and Jason Aldean impersonator, that will be here August 7th at 7:30.
I believe it's August 7th, 7:30.
And so he always draws a good
Tickets
crowd.
are on sale on our website.
Tickets are on sale on our website. And but again, too, while you're listening, this is our first podcast for our theater, but we also have a website, it's TennesseeValleyTheater.com, and also we have a Facebook page.
TheaTre.
Yes.
Yes. And be looking on those, and but anyway, what I would like to see in my vision as the theater, we've had also in the past, we've had 2 floods that pretty much destroyed, had 3 feet of water inside the building at 2 different times. So there was a lot of destruction, and we're still recouping from the last one that happened a year and a half ago. And we've got most everything redone, but we still have some issues of flooring that we're still working on. And but what I would like to see is to, which again takes money, is getting a new facade as far as paint job on the outside of the building, getting some theatrical looking lights that frame out the shape of the building on the outside, and a sign that would tell what's playing out here, that people can see that this is a theater, because as long as we've been here, in 25 years, we still have people in the community that ask, oh, you have a theater? And yeah, we do. So, but we want to be visual, and so we thought that's one of the things I think that would be an eye catcher, especially in the evening, with the lights that be able to look like a theater from the outside. There's seating that we need as far as risers. I'd like to see on the inside. We're working on improvements to our sound booth and lighting booth, and also we've improved lighting this year from going from analog lighting, the old analog lighting, to LED lighting, and we still need to add some lights to that along with the new board. So those are some things that I want to get as far as physical part of the building done, and of course our foyer area, to upgrade it and to make it look more inviting, and have people to be able to feel welcome when they come in. As the chairs that we see that's sitting before you, that on the screen, these were donated by Lazy Boy Chair Company, and they're a good addition to our foyer, and it makes the area look nice and gives people a nice place to sit while they're waiting to go into the auditorium. Upgrading of the desk and the walls, and to be able to put some things that we've done in the past on the walls, so poster type, to be able to show that, you know, some of the shows that we have done and performed here, and hopefully to be able to do the same thing on the outside of the building, to be able to draw interest, to say, hey, what's coming, you know, down the road. So those are some of the things as far as the physicality of the building that I would like to see done. The part as far as the theater works of it, I would like to get to a point of where we can really, you know, we appreciate the patrons that come, the crowds that come, but would really like to be able to get the advertising out to reach more people. And that's hopefully a goal of our board, not only myself, but our board. Anessa is one of our board members, she mentioned, and she's in charge of our lights and sound. And this is her first year on the board, and been a big asset to our board. So our board wants to be able to get the word out advertising wise, and how we can do that better. And that's one of the things, to be able to reach more people, to bring them in that, you know, would not normally come into the theater.
And that's part of the podcast. We're hoping that the podcast and the YouTube reaches more people.
Yeah, it helps us get more exposure that way, and maybe gets us out to a crowd that, you know, normally wouldn't know we're around. So, yeah.
Right.
So,
And to hopefully draw people in that are not used to seeing live theater, and thinking that it's something that they would go see and the first grader do.
Mhm.
This is something that visually, you don't really, if you hadn't seen it, you don't grasp it until you actually come and see it. And you're watching a show that people are depicting characters that's like a TV show, but it's live, you know. And so we try to recoup that on the stage. So I hope to be able to do that, you know, get people in.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, this is our first podcast for this one. We definitely want to try to get, we're going to try to get one out a week. We're going to do interviews with casts and directors and all the different backstage aspects of the theater, set design, lights and sound, costuming, props, all the things that go into a show and a production. The next show we've got coming up is at the end of August 21st, 22nd, and 28th and 29th. It's Blythe Spirit. They're in works right now for rehearsals. So we're going to start talking to the cast and directors and all the other stuff as well to get that interviewed and tell you a little bit about that show. So we're really excited about it.
We have an email address. It's tvtpodcast@yahoo.com if you ever want to email and give us suggestions or questions for the podcast. We have a Facebook and Instagram, website, and our phone number is 423-365-PLAY. I don't know the numbers.
575, I don't know. Play, P-L-A-Y.
7529.
Nice.
7529.
Nice.
So, yes, please go on there. Also, again, you know, we do take volunteers, and there's a place on the website that you can donate.
Yeah, donations on the website. You can message us on Facebook or Instagram if you'd like to, you know, donate your time. Volunteer if you want to get into directing or acting. We put all of our audition information on Facebook and Instagram. Also email if you want to be a part of our email list. For the theater, we do all that. Or if you just want to come and help us on a work day where we paint or clean up the backstage area, work on costumes, you know, we love that too. So, is that everything?
Yeah.
Is that all we got for tonight?
Thanks for being our first podcast.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for the invite.
Good job,
You're
Dad.
welcome.
Until next time.